Hi, I'm Andrew with Baker's Gas. We're here today with the Thunderbolt 160. So in this video, this machine's been very popular. What we're going to do a comparison video. So we're going to compare the 160, the new 160, to what we have, the old Thunderbolt here. So the Thunderbolt I have here is from 1988. It's an AC/DC machine, 230 volt only. But pulled it out of a barn one of our employees had. And then, as you can see down here too, on the floor, we have an old Lincoln, what we like to call a tombstone welder, 230 volt AC only machine, 225 amp. I personally have one of these. I've done a lot of work with one of these, fixing stuff, building stuff. And then we have a Craftsman here, which was, they no longer have these, but they were built by Clark. It's similar to the Thunderbolt top crank, but pulled out some older units just to show off. So we figured, people out in the field and that kind of thing, home hobby, farmers, that kind of thing, they have these kind of units. So we're just going to show you what the new Thunderbolt compared to these older units, what's changed, what's been updated, that kind of thing. So before we start, before I unbox this thing, I'm gonna weld with the old Thunderbolt just to see how it goes. I did power it up and it still works, so let's give this thing a shot here. So as I was saying before though, the Thunderbolt here, AC/DC from 1988, it's got a top crank, so that's how you adjust your amperage level. So I got it on the DC side. This thing also does AC, but I got it at about 120 amps on DC. Obviously I'm running electrode positive, so my stinger's in the positive terminal, ground's in the negative terminal. Let's flip this thing on. Now, one note I wanted to point out, front of the machine, amperage draw, 45.5 amps. Now, that's a huge difference compared to the other unit. The other unit pulls about 21 amps on 120 volt and about 27 amps on 230 volt. So now we're drawing half the current on the new Thunderbolt. So that's one big major difference. Another major difference was weight. This thing probably is pushing 100 pounds. Unbelievable. The new machine, 15 pounds. So big weight difference too. Let's give this thing a shot. So I have a 6010 electrode here. Let me give this thing a strike up. Let's go. Still welds pretty darn good. So I mean, that thing is 120 volt or 120 amps on the meter there. I got a 3/32 electrode. So big thing on these older units was this accurate? I couldn't tell you. I just tuned it into 120. Seems to weld just fine on 3/32 electrode. So let's shut this unit off and we'll unbox the new one here. So as I was saying before, this unit is a 120, 240 volt, so it has the multi-change-out plug Miller has, so you can change the plug on the back end. Like I said though, this is brand new. I'm going to show you what comes in this package here. Open the box up. So right out of the gate, we have the operating manual. So they make a Thunderbolt 160 and they also make a 210. The 210's a 230 volt only. What we have here is the 120, 230 volt. Got our ground clamp, our electrode holder or stinger. Pretty well packaged piece here, not bad. We have our cables for our work cable and our ground cable. So that's for the stinger and the ground clamp. We have our power cord. And here's the beauty of this machine, 15 pounds. I mean, that's unbelievable. So I had to have help lift that machine up on the table. This thing obviously is very light, very small. Also in the pack, is a bag to hold all your cables. So when you unplug from the front of the machine, you can throw your cables in the bag so they're all neatly contained so you're not laying everywhere. And then we have the two plug-ins. So 230, 240 volt plug, 120 plug. So there you go. That's what comes in the package. Let's get this the ground cable installed and everything, and then we'll try and weld with it. Alright, so getting her out of the box here, getting this electrode holder hooked up. The main this little piece of rubber is on the bare end of this copper. So what comes with it is this shim that goes down inside the hole. So you got to take the black handle off, and what you do is you put that shim down in there. Then the copper, very carefully, you insert it there, flip it over, and you put the set screw on the back side. So what this is doing is just making the electrical connection. It does not come hooked up. You have to do this when it comes out of the box. Not a big deal. It's pretty common. Most electrode holders come not assembled, so you gotta usually put them together yourself. But what this is doing is just clamping down on the copper wire so you can have it all make the connection there. So after you get that done, we're good there. And then we're going to put the ground clamp on, which the ground clamp basically comes with the connector already. And what you're going to do there is take this little nut off there, right here, and you're going to hook it through that cable connection there. So pretty simple to get this kind of stuff hooked up. Just a little tidbit that sometimes no one really knows about. So just to show you. All right. So here we have our electrode holder that I just put together. We've got our positive and negative terminals. So this is a DC only machine. We're going to be welding DC electrode positive. So we put our electrode holder in the positive terminal. We got our ground cable here. We're going to put in our negative terminal. Now remember, that's just a 25mm DINS, just a cam lock. Put it in, twist, and it'll tighten up. So just it's a quarter turn. That's all it takes. We'll hook the ground up here. Got everything. Let's fire this machine up. Pretty basic, no LCD screen, no display, no meters on there, just a single knob. So we got power, and then what we have here is an overheat light. So if you reach the duty cycle, that'll come on and it won't weld. But what do we got here? So we're on 230. So the blue is for 230. The outer blue ring's for 230, 240 volt input power, and the white is for 120. So we can only weld up to 80 amps on 120. We can weld up to 160 amps on 230. So let's crank it up here. We'll go up to about, let's try 90 out. Let's see how that starts out. Same electrode, right? We're going to weld with a 6010 electrode. And we're going to give this thing a shot. So that welded pretty good. Arc start on it was really nice. Now notice I only have it at 90 amps, and on the older Thunderbolt I had it at 120. So that's a 30 amp difference. So is the meter right on the old one? I'm not 100% sure, but they're welding about the same right now. So notice I told you too, 6010. Yes, it'll weld 6010. It's not like the other units that have a lower open circuit voltage and you can't get the arc to start on 6010 or can't maintain that arc. This thing seems to be running just fine. Let's run a little bit more. actually welds really nice. Let's grab a 1/8 inch here, 7018 electrode. We'll bump it up to, just get it between 110 and 130. We'll give this thing a shot here. Oh, a good tip to starting a stick electrode is almost like writing with a pencil, right? So when you write with a pencil, you don't go into your piece of paper and jam your lead right into the paper, correct? So what you do is you just softly strike the arc. So just like writing with a pencil, that's how you're going to start the arc with your electrode. Let's give 7018 a shot. Welded pretty good. Ran really well. Didn't cut out. No interruptions in that arc. It was actually pretty nice. Let's see what. Actually, that bead turned out really nice. Ran really well. All in all, the arc characteristic on this little thing is really pretty sweet. For what it is, right? 15 pounds. We got up to 160 amps on 230. Thing runs great. Now, if you didn't notice, but at the very start, when I started that electrode, to another tip is if you're having trouble, you're starting in the middle of the plate and you keep sticking, remember the pencil technique. You just real soft going in strike, or go to the edge of the plate, start down below, pull up, and as you come to the corner, it'll initiate that arc. So just a couple helpful tips. So all in all, this unit here is pretty good bang for the buck. So $485, and then also with this unit we threw together a baker's bundle. So for $45, you get $60 worth of valued items. So in there you get a set of gloves, Miller made gloves. You get a rod guard to store your electrodes in to keep them dry. You get the ESAB Vac Pac, and you get a chipping hammer. So for $45, you get $60 worth of items in the bundle package. So it's in a drop-down box below if you buy this machine. Thanks for watching my video. Leave comments. Tell us how old your Thunderbolt or one of your older Tombstone welders is, and tell us what kind of projects you've done with them. And I tell you what, that's a heck of an upgrade from the old Thunderbolt. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.